The crazy Disney shills, the pixie dusters, the cupcakers. Well, in a surprise of all surprises, in a twist of all twists, it seems that they're starting to get misty-eyed over Ron DeSantis. Folks will tell you why the Disney aficionados, the grown-up Disney adulters, suddenly can't get enough of the Florida governor. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel that is changing hearts and minds simply by telling the truth with a capital T. We're so happy to have you with us here today. Consider clicking the like button and we'll get on our way. We are sailing upon the rivers of America today. It is the waterfront inside the Magic Kingdom, Disney's most popular and most valuable asset in anything and everything that they own. In fact, it's so important that it drives the economy of Disney World, which is 1/3 of all of Disney's profits. And yet, they seem to have lost it. That's their marbles in trying to destroy 1/4 of the ambiance of the park. It's a huge risk. It's a crazy endeavor. There's no upside to it, seemingly. And so, well, they've even lost the influencers who are terrified of losing their influence by sticking with Disney on this one. But guess what? Just when they thought that it was all lost, here comes riding in Ron DeSantis. Well, sort of. We'll explain right now. All right, folks, let's go to it. Got big news coming out of Disney World. This is one of the strange ones of the day. It turns out that the cupcakers, the pixie dusters, the influencers, well, they're falling in love all over again with Ron DeSantis. I'm not making this up. Guys, I have seen tweets. I have seen tweets now. I've seen posts of influencers praising Florida and talking about how it's going to be the zero to hero. You can look it up.
I have a genuine question, and this like not even like mocking. Like I genuinely don't know. What has Ron been up to since he dropped out of the race? Like I feel like I haven't heard about him in a while. And again, not mocking, not
running the state,
just doing
running
Florida.
Stuff.
Okay,
yeah, just
nothing big.
Doing his actual job.
Well, there are some things like with the attempted deletion that happened again. The other day, he's ordered that Florida is going to do their own investigation of that. I think that's really
cool. I didn't see he did that. Yeah.
But he really doesn't have anything to do with this. It's just that the influencers, the Disney shills.
Oh yeah. That made me.
Yeah.
I was like, what's it been up to?
So here's the story on a blog, Mickey, and this will make sense why the influencers suddenly are in love with the Sunshine State. Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island demolition project hits snag. State requests significant changes to permits. Folks, this is the beautiful, amazing, iconic Rivers of America in Walt Disney World at Magic Kingdom. It sets the ambiance of about 1/4 of the park. And even if you don't ride the Liberty Bell or go to Tom Sawyer Island, you still use this when you walk through Frontierland or any of the areas over at Liberty Square because you enjoy the surroundings. And it really is a thing of beauty in a way that some of the parts of the park no longer are. We're looking at you, backside of Tron. Here's the article. It says, Walt Disney World has not yet received initial state approval for its Frontierland expansion project, which will include the demolition of the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island. The demolition is required to prepare the land for a Cars-themed expansion and, eventually, a Villains Land in Magic Kingdom. The state of Florida has sent Disney a 6-page letter outlining dozens of faults in the initial application, which is related to water management actions that Disney has proposed to allow for an expansion of Frontierland. The state is asking Disney to make modifications to the permit within 90 days or the permit application will be denied. Let's take a closer look at what this means. We'll get to that in a moment. I want to bring up something that I think is more important first. And Marvin, I'm going to start with you because you're the theme park aficionado here. Mm-hmm. This keeps happening. Disney came out and made what originally was a popular announcement and then became extremely unpopular once the details landed where we found out what they're going to destroy. Disney came out and made this announcement, and they didn't have government approval on it yet. Now, I'm not in favor of the government preventing corporations from making dumb decisions. But this is water management. This is a basic thing that Disney had to know they needed to get right. To me, this is like announcing the things that are coming to Disneyland Forward before the vote happens, and you're not sure if you're going to get approval. This is crazy to me that they made an announcement, a very unpopular announcement, and they didn't have the paperwork done. They didn't have the permits granted. And this isn't a sure thing at this point. Marvin, how incompetent is this now?
Is it incompetence, Pro, or is it desperation? You know, they went into that D23 And they knew they had to make some wild announcements in order to hold on to any kind of relevancy in the market right now, because Universal has just been killing it every time they open their mouth about anything that they're doing, whether it's Halloween Horror Nights or Epic Universe. So yeah, I think they came out of the gate, and I think they're so used to being able to do whatever they want with the Reedy Creek Improvement District. It's but it's a completely different ball game now. You know, they are much more under the microscope of the Florida government now than they've ever been, and that is a self-inflicted wound. But yeah, it reeks of just absolute irresponsibility to be able to make this announcement and be like, oh, LOL, JK, we actually can't legally do that. I mean, that's got to be the height of ineptitude.
Well, like, not even related to the park specifically, but you're seeing this in a lot of, and Pro can link this back to the parks even better, because you're seeing this out of almost every giant entertainment company nowadays, right? Like, they will go and they will announce something and say, oh yeah, this is coming, and have nothing moved on it. The one I always think of is Star Trek 4. J.J. Abrams came out during that Paramount Investors Day and was like, oh yeah, Star Wars 4, it's happening. We're moving on it now. And all of the cast came out and said, we have no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, and I would say too, this is a very strange situation for Disney, because this gives them the out. So let me tell you, how weird is this? Disney made this announcement. They made it to get themselves through D23. It has been probably the most unpopular announcement they've ever made in terms of expansion for their parks by far. Now they've got the government telling them, well, you don't have approval on this, and you're going to be denied approval of it because you've got serious mistakes in your paperwork. If I'm in charge at Disney, this is the perfect chance to say, oh, well, phooey, we just can't get this worked out. We love the environment. Man, do we ever love the environment? You all love the environment, right? Well, we just can't do this because of the environment. We're going to change up how we're going to do this. Disney, I know you're terrible at taking the win. Take the win here. They've handed you the 55-mile-an-hour pitch straight down the middle. Hit the home run and get out of here. You don't have to destroy the rivers of America. It's clearly unpopular. Use the government as your scapegoat and slide on out of this really bad situation. Jonas, is that what you would do?
Yeah. So the organization that is doing this is not SIFTOD, as a lot of people are saying that are just kind of driving by this one. It's a different organization. It's the Southwest Florida Water Management District. So this is outside of the district. This is an organization that governs a lot in that area. And water management is actually really important in Florida, because there are parts of Florida that are below sea level. And of course,
so I thought that SIFTOD acted as the go-between, though.
They might, but it's Swift Mud here that is actually, and I'm not making that up. That's actually,
I love the acronym.
That's what Floridians call it. I thought it was the Southwest Florida Water Management District growing up there, but Swift Mud is what governs this, and maybe SIFTOD is involved at this point in because it's within their district, but it's very specifically the water management that is the issue, and the things that they are asking for are environmental impact reports, essentially, which those take time. And this is an active habitat, whether or not people within Disney realize that this is man-made, but it's also incorporated wildlife in the area. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had some of the awful stories that we've had come out about wildlife in the rivers of America, which connects into the Seven Seas Lagoon. So I think this is an excellent opportunity for Disney to say, no, we're going to do something else, because they have so much land,
What's the likelihood,
Jonas,
do you guys think?
Real quick, Marvin, let's get you in. Let me show this. I want people to understand what we're talking about on water management, okay? The Rivers of America does this sort of 8-shaped infinity thing, but it connects in behind the scenes to the Seven Seas Lagoon. And the Seven Seas Lagoon is connected to a tremendous number of waterways all over Disney World. This is not an insignificant part of the water management. So you're talking about a not insignificant issue that the government has discovered with Disney. And if they do remove it, what they have to do is they have to go over into this area, which would be technically northwest, although it doesn't appear that way in the map, the way we're showing it. Technically northwest of the Magic Kingdom, and they're going to have to increase the water retention areas. And so they've got to show how they're going to do that and how it's going to impact the wildlife. Because if we go west of Magic Kingdom, a lot of this land over here is set aside to be protected for, again, wildlife and also for water management issues. Go ahead, Marvin.
I was going to say, Epic Universe was under construction for how long before we found out exactly what Epic Universe was going to be? Universal just starts building these things, and they don't really make the announcement until after things are well underway, which means they're not going to run into problems like this. Disney jumped the gun on this to such an extreme degree that now they're going to have egg on their face, or you know, like you said, Pro, they're just going to take the win. They're just going to take the win and be like, yep, oh, that evil governor of Florida, what are we going to do? Well, we got to, alter our plans up to curse him.
Darn it, we can't go forward with the super unpopular thing that we thought would be popular, but it isn't. Oh, gosh darn.
I'm also going to, the words from Josh tomorrow were that dirt was already moving on this project.
I had forgot about that, Jonas. What a great point. Dirt was already moving on a project that had no government approvals.
So
dirt was moving. Ink hadn't even moved yet.
Right. Also pointing out that he said that Tropical Americas was several years away. Dirt is moving on Tropical Americas right now, which made us even more confused as to why he said dirt was moving on Villain's Land already. So something is backwards here as far as messaging, or somebody is saying like I don't know if he tripped over a rock on the way and decided to classify that as dirt moving from a legal standpoint here, but there is something very backwards about the way this project is going on and how they're talking about it.
Exactly. And folks, we've come to the end. We hope we will see you real soon again, and in the meantime, consider clicking that like button, share, subscribe. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts and share this sucker out on your favorite social media platforms. Folks, until we have the honor of spending time together again, please keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.